physics because she liked the subject. In 1939, she graduated from the Presidency College in Madras with a BSc Honours degree in Physics and Chemistry. After graduating from the Presidency College, she worked under Professor C.V. Raman researching the optical properties of ruby and diamond. She authored 5 research papers, but she was not granted a PhD because she did not have a master's degree in physics. Then she moved to London to study courses of physics, but she ended up studying meteorological instruments at Imperial College, London. After returning to India in 1948, she joined the meteorological department in Pune. She became an Indian physicist and meteorological. By this, we know about the upbringing and studies of Anna Moda in Mani. Now we are going to know about her invention. She designed an instrument to measure atmospheric ozone. She also set up a meteorological observatory at the Thamba rocket launching facility. She is also known for her books on solar thermal system. Her work on measuring wind speeds in over 700 locations across the country has laid a foundation for the country's wind energy needs. Thank you.
Good morning, Honorable Principal, respected teachers, and all my dear friends. I would request every individual present here to lend their ears to me for 2 to 3 minutes and listen to my speech. Albert Einstein, Isaac Newton, Michael Faraday, Stephen Hawking, Charles Darwin, all the scientists' names are very familiar to us. But today I am going to speak about such a scientist whose name might be unknown to most of us, but the role he played in science and technological field is memorable. The Padma Shri scientist name rarely features in the list of top Indian scientists, though his contribution continues to inspire, influence, and aid present-day physics research in India. Born in 1909 in Gujarat's Jamnagar, Bhatt obtained his master's degree in physics under the supervision of the great Sir C.V. Raman at Indian Institute of Science (IISc). After earning his doctorate degree at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, he returned to India and served as a professor in IISc. Just after independence in 1949, he was inducted into the Defence Science Organization in Delhi, where he presented his most fascinating innovations. His active contribution to acoustics in India must be mentioned. Dr. Bhatt, a patron and the practitioner of Hindustani classical music, designed the acoustical features of 70mm theatres in India, like the Sheela and the Odeon in Delhi and Birla Matusri Sabhagruha in Mumbai, to capture the perfect natural listening essence of Indian classical music, thereby negating the need for loudspeakers and amplifiers. He also designed the Legislative Assembly Hall in Gandhinagar, Gujarat. He contributed a lot in the field of science and technology. He was responsible for the development and deployment of the VT fuse for the Department of Defense in the mid-1960s. He established the Solid-State Physics Laboratory in Delhi and was its founding director. He also established the Central Electronics Engineering Research Institute (CEERI), Pilani. He founded the Electrical Communications Engineering Department at Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. He was a founding member of the Institute of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering, IETE. I would like to conclude my speech with a message that each and every people who has contributed a little also for their country should be memorable in our life. Thanking all the listeners to listen my speech so patiently. I end the speech.
Good evening. Myself Arsha Srivastav from Srimati K.C. Gandhi School. Asima Chatterjee. Asima Chatterjee was an Indian chemist noted for her work in the field of organic chemistry and phytomedicine. Her most notable work includes research of alkaloids, the development of anti-allopathic and anti-malarial drugs. Asima Chatterjee was born on 23rd of September in 1917 in Calcutta. She was born into a middle-class family which at the same time meant no education for females. Her father, Indra Mukherjee was a doctor and was very supportive of Asima and her brother's education, which at the time was very rare. But her father loved botany, and this is where she developed her interest in medicine. But her particular interest got developed because of her curiosity regarding the medicinal property of plants. In an era where women commonly do not pursue higher education, Asima chose to study chemistry. She graduated with honours from the Scottish Church College, University of Calcutta in 1936. She was the first woman to receive a doctorate at an Indian university in 1944. She went on to work for her postdoctoral research on biologically active alkaloids, and she continued with her research, but at time it was very difficult for the scientists to work due to fewer funds from the government, and Asima had to invest her own money to send samples for the analysis outside India. She struggled to get the necessary chemicals and reagents for her research and was barely able to pay for her students' salaries. In spite of a huge setback in 1967, when she lost her father and her husband within a span of 4 months, Asima Chatterjee came back to science after a few months. Her co-workers at the same time were very supportive and helped her a lot, and she continued with her work. Through her research, she developed anti-allopathic drugs, anti-convulsive and chemotherapy drugs to treat patients. The anti-allopathic drug Ayush 56, which she developed for Marsilea minuta, is her most successful work, and till date it is used commercially. From different types of plants, she developed anti-malarial drugs and with her team. So she dedicated 40 years of her time to research on cancer and anti-cancer drugs. She studied a class of compounds called alkaloids, which were used effectively in chemotherapy for cancer patients, which was actually a dead end for the patients back then. Thank you.